Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube. Major number 7, the unofficial start of the second half of season 23. Coming to you from 222 Dutch, just outside of Ephrata, Pennsylvania. This is normally our Super Bowl Sunday tournament, but with them moving the Super Bowl back 1 week, we didn't move our schedule. So normally for this event, our finals is the NFL bracket playoffs, and we're continuing that this year. So we've now taken the top 7, since that's what they do for the NFL right now, take the top 7. My apologies, I usually list the link what time we come on live, but we had some issues with our MiFi. Our MiFi died, so I'm on a personal hotspot right now. Hopefully it lasts throughout the whole time. Looks like we are just about ready to start. Are you ready, Matthew?
I am ready.
Take it away.
Okay, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to 222 Dutch Lanes for the finals of our 7th major of the PJBT season, our Super Bowl Sunday format for the finals today on live stream. We will actually have 3 quarterfinal matches, we will have 2 semifinal matches, and we'll have 1 single head-to-head match to determine the title. The format today, just like the NFL finals, the top seed will get a bye for the first round. 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5 in our first match. Those 3 winners will join the top seed, and they will be reseeded for the semifinal round. Head-to-head, the 2 winners will then bowl each other in Game 3 for the finals. Okay? Time to introduce our 7 finalists in each division. Our number 7 seed in scratch from Blue Ball, PA, Trevor Courtney.
In the scratch division, your number 7 seed, Trevor Courtney.
Our number 6 seed from Lancaster, PA, Jordan Shell.
Your number 6 seed, Jordan Shell.
Our number 5 seed from Cherry Hill, New Jersey is Micah Voorhees.
Micah Voorhees, number 5 seed.
Our number 4 seed from Lancaster, PA, Derek Keller.
Derek Keller, number 4 seed.
Our number 3 seed from Voorhees, New Jersey is Tom Burns Jr.
Tom Burns Jr., your number 3 seed.
Our number 2 seed from Lancaster, PA, Nick Tomlinson.
Nick Tomlinson, your number 2 seed.
And our tournament leader receiving a bye for the first round at plus 67 for 9 games from Royersford, PA, Mason Doan.
And your number 1 seed, Mason Doan. By the way, he is the number 1 seed at a very low, plus 67. Plus 67. That shows you how tough the oil pattern was today.
Our number 7 seed from Birdsboro, PA, Tofik Smith.
Tofik Smith, your number 7 seed in the handicap division.
Seed from Middletown, PA, Isabella Dixon.
Isabella Dixon, your number 6 seed.
Our number 5 seed from Pocono Summit, PA, Alex Stakowitz.
Alex Stakowitz, your number 5 seed.
Our number 4 seed from Summit Hill, PA, Mason Matrazo.
Mason Matrazo, your number 4
Our
seed.
number 3 seed from Harleysville, PA, Andrew Arnold.
Andrew Arnold, your number 3 seed.
Our number 2 seed from Lebanon, PA, Lita Sherman.
Lita Sherman, your number 2
And our
seed.
tournament leader receiving a bye for the first round at plus 105 for 9 games today from Westchester, PA, Ian Powers.
Ian Powers is your top seed.
For our 7 handicap finalists for this afternoon's PJBT.
And Ian led the handicap division at plus 105. Plus 105.
And begin match number 1, our quarterfinal 3 matches.
So definitely some lower scores today. Was PJBT pattern number 4. Pattern number 4. So every year, Kegel creates 10 patterns for us to use in our majors. Some are harder than others. They're all difficult. They're all challenge shot patterns. But there's always 2 patterns that seem to play really, really difficult. And this year, pattern number 4, or sorry, pattern number 8, which this is, pattern number 8, was one of those 2 that played extremely difficult. It was 38 feet. .3 to 1 is the ratio. But it played fairly flat. So from 2 to 6 was flat. And then it bumped up on board 7, bumped up on board 8, and then 9 and 10 were flat. And then 11 and 12 were flat, and then 13 to 13 was flat. So it's a pretty flat pattern. And this house plays a little on the tricky side at times too. I've seen scores through the roof here on some of our patterns, and I've seen some scores here at 222 Dutch low on our patterns, and today happened to be a low one. So our format today, as I mentioned earlier, is similar to the NFL playoffs. So only the top seed gets a bye to the second round. So the 2 seed bowls the 7 seed, the 3 seed bowls the 6 seed, and the 4 seed bowls the 5 seed. 1-on-1, 1 match, winner moves on to round 2. In this game, scratch will be on the left, handicap will be on the right. For the semifinals, they will flip-flop, and then they'll flip-flop again in the finals. So I got a pretty good crowd behind me that stayed to watch. I'm sure they're going to be very boisterous today. Well, I got one clap.
I have a lane for you. Party for Josh. I have a lane for you.
So that's what I like, a boisterous crowd behind me cheering on. So let's look where each bowler finished. So, as I said earlier, Mason Doan was tops at plus 67 in scratch. Nick Tomlinson was plus 37. Tommy Burns plus 28. Derek Keller plus 25. Micah Voorhees was minus 25. When was the last time Micah Voorhees was minus at anything? Jordan Shell minus 29. Trevor Courtney minus 36. So minus 36 makes the show. I cannot tell you when the last time in the scratch division you didn't need to be plus at one of our tournaments. Amazing. Handicap division, Ian Powers, plus 105. Lita Sherman, plus 85. Andrew Arnold, plus 19. Mason Matrazo, minus 17. Alex Stakowitz, minus 65. Isabella Dixon, also minus 65. And Tafiq Smith, minus 71. So minus 71 makes the show in handicap. And minus 36 makes the show in scratch. Very low scores today, very tricky pattern. And let's not forget, being a major on the PJBT Tour, we re-oil for the finals. So we're not giving these bowlers any breaks today. Re-oil for the finals, and we use the gold pins. So no breaks for anybody today. So this could be interesting. for the ladies out there, don't forget next week is our finals of our women's series, our girls series for the year at Lion Bowl in Red Lion, PA. 10:30 start time. $500 guaranteed first place prize next week for the ladies at Lion Bowl. Now, it's only a 12-lane bowling center, so space is limited. So get your entries in today. A $20 deposit. Hold your spot. Pay that at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. That's www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. So let's look to see what their game one scores were today. Mason Doan, 170. Nick Tomlinson, 176. Tommy Burns, 180. Derek Keller, 246. Micah Voorhees, 180. Jordan Shell, 179. Trevor Courtney, 190. So all of the bowlers, with the exception of Derek Keller, were right around each other in the high 100s, somewhere between 170 and 190-ish. So, yeah. This pattern played very difficult, especially early. So, if somebody puts up anything over 200 in this match, chances are they're moving on. As always, ladies and gentlemen, our message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in. Let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year, by the way. Is it going to be the Cincinnati Bengals or the Los Angeles Rams? Brendan, it's PJBT major pattern number 8. Also, by the way, if you're coming to the girls tournament next week, expect a difficult pattern. We're not going to put something easy out when we got $500 first place on the line. Scholarship money, of course. We're not putting out something easy. So, all right, so in the scratch, or the handicap matches, Lita is getting 15 pins. Isabella is getting 23, and Alex is getting 61.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin our quarterfinal matches. Round 1 for today's finals. On the scratch side, we have number 2 seed Nick Tomlinson taking on number 7 seed Trevor Courtney. Opponents are bowling across from each other on the monitor. We have number 3 seed Tom Burns Jr. taking on number 6 seed Jordan Shell. And in our third match, we have number 4 seed Derek Keller taking on number 5 seed Micah Voorhees. Those 3 winners will advance to bowl with Mason in the semifinal round. On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed Lena Sherman getting 15 pins handicapped per match, taking on number 7 seed Tofik Smith. Now, our second match is number 3 seed Andrew Arnold taking on number 6 seed, Isabella Dixon. Isabella getting the handicap difference of 23 in that match. And then our final match is the 4 seed, Mason Matrazo, taking on number 5 seed, Alex Stankiewicz. Alex getting 61 pins. That's the difference in handicap for their match. All right, bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our quarterfinalist bowler.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and away we go. To answer your question, Josh, that is a no. I am on a hot spot right now. Matt will be bringing the box back to you this week. We are going to have to contact Verizon. So give me a couple seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I will have some scoreboards up for you. Nick starts out with a strike. Trevor starts out going 9 spare. Lita leaves a 10 pin. Tafiq goes 4-4. Lita rides the rails for a spare. Tommy Burns up trying to make the washout. He does. Isabella gets 7. Andrew Arnold with a strike. First look at Jordan Shell on lane 4. He goes 10 back. Isabella converts. Mason Matrazo, lane 5, comes in a little high, leaves the 3 pin. Derek Keller leaves a split. Don't forget, Derek was the only one to shoot 200 in game 1 of qualifying of these 6 bowlers. Michael Voorhees splits as well. Matrazo picks up his spare. So getting ready to join me is tournament director Matt as soon as he's
done organizing his life.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It was another great day on the lanes today.
What was it, 89 at the end?
88.
88?
88 entries, including 52 scratch bowlers. So, big field today.
Hey, we're winning.
Lita Sherman up, frame number 2, leaves the 5-8. Trevor Courtney breaking up the split. Tafiq. 8 count. Nick Tomlinson, that's out of bounds. Anything outside of 5 is pretty much out of bounds. That ball ain't coming back.
Okay, I think we're all set.
Very difficult pattern today.
Yes, very difficult pattern. Pattern number 8. This pattern is has a lot of hook in the middle, and a lot of slide on the outside. So with 38 feet and it being fairly flat, it makes it very, very tough. And much different from the pattern we bowled here earlier in the season. Our opening tournament, we did a longer pattern where it was 44 feet. That plays much different than this pattern today.
Scores were a lot higher in that tournament.
Yes.
A lot higher.
Yes.
I did notice, this is the 5th season that Kegel has been creating patterns for us. Mm-hmm. They always seem to create 2 of them. They don't tell us what 2 that tend to play really, really difficult. Mm-hmm. And we definitely found one of them.
Yes. Yes.
This week.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those tournaments where, and this is what bowling is really about. When you go to the highest level, it's about grinding. It's about making spares, keeping the ball in play, and if you don't make a good shot, you're going to pay for it. That's the important part of this. So,
yeah, I thought, now, you being as busy as you are, don't get too much of a chance to come out and watch the bowling, especially during qualifying, where I do, and I could definitely say, to me today, especially early, straighter was greater. Definitely.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Where I would have used myself something low flare, something with some surface on it, and just keep it right at that 10 board and just, you know what, like, somewhere between 190 and 200 was a good game today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's again, that goes back to the grinding out, make your spares, keep the ball in play, because ultimately that's what these patterns do. Now, again, with our major finals, for anybody watching for the first time, this is a freshly oiled pattern, just like we started the morning on. And of course, we have the tougher pins in, the gold pins for the major finals. So, but yes, would not be surprised to see some grind out matches here today. So if it's okay, I'll help you out with the scratch side here.
Sure.
Okay, it looks like we're in the middle of frame number 3. Tomlinson up on lane 3. He will have a 12-pin lead with a strike, which he gets. So 12-pin lead for him. In our match between Burns and Shell starts with a double. And right now, Derek and Micah both opened in the first. Mark's in the second.
On the handicap side, Lita went spare, open. Tafik, 3 straight opens. Isabella Dixon, 2 spares and an open. Andrew Arnold now up in the third. He's working on a double.
And there's something we haven't seen in a while. How about a gutter ball?
Actually, I saw more than my fair share today watching. And I saw a lot of, let's just say, below 5 or below on doubles, more than I ever have, I think,
Counts.
today. Yes.
Well, that's interesting for Jordan now, because now with being on a double, Jordan's going to need a spare to fill the frame and the pins. Let's see what happens.
Ooh, talk about a break.
And he got a huge break with the tumble of the 4, 5, and 8.
He did what a lot of people do. You throw it in the gutter, then you yank the next one left.
And due to the gutter ball spare, that match is tied at the moment.
All right, on the handicap side, Andrew Arnold spare to the third, so he's clean through 3. Mason Matrazo up. He's trying to convert the 1-3-8 for his second mark of the game. Alex Stakowitz, 3 straight opens, but don't forget he is getting 61 pins.
Taylor comes in light, leaving the same way.
Saw a lot of them today, too. A lot of washouts and 5 counts like that.
Well, I think the key again is getting the ball to finish the same way every time. I mean, if your release is different each shot, that will also affect whether the ball will finish the same way each time. You could hit your mark perfectly, but if you don't have the right release on the ball, then you could also not make it. Great shot there. Way to cover the split.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good board.
So we start frame 4 on the scratch side.
Why are you gonna slow down? No, I didn't.
Waiting in the wings are tournament leaders, Mason Doan on the scratch side, Ian Powers on the handicap side.
All right, let's see here what Tafiq could do in the 4th. He has yet to mark in any of his shots.
That looks like a pretty good shot. No, better. 5 count.
No. Tafiq is one of our newer bowlers this season.
Yep. Tomlinson chops the 310 baby split. 68 in the 4th for him.
Andrew Arnold crossed over and caught the break, tripped to 6. He's got 3 strikes in 4 frames.
Once again, you're watching the quarterfinal match. This is round 1 of our 3-round final today. Our Super Bowl Sunday format. First ever Super Bowl Sunday major tournament, not on the day of the Super
Yes.
Bowl.
Yes. I have to do a little better job scheduling that next season.
I guess I didn't get the memo from the NFL.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
Burns with a strike in the 4th on lane 4.
See, now, I thought his line was very interesting on the fresh. That's not a line you normally see on fresh. That's a line you see typically game 6, game 7. Very interesting.
Where you jump in
Jump in
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
But I also would say that depending on what equipment you have in your hand, it seems like obviously you can't go too straight unless you're throwing, like we see some bowlers throwing urethane. But if you're throwing anything reactive, you have to be playing kind of a swing on the inside. So, and when I say inside, I'm talking 15 to 10. Nothing. You can't swing it to the outside.
Right.
But you also can't pull it, because the minute you pull it, the ball's
Yes.
going to hook.
Yes.
So, strikes for Burns and Keller there. Spare for Shell. Reminder that our message board is operational. If you want to chime in on today's action.
Still waiting for anybody to give me their Super Bowl prediction. What's your prediction, since I won't see you next week? You have one?
I don't know, I really didn't think about it. My instinct says the Rams win.
My instincts, too.
But
I'm rooting for Cincy, but I'd say the Rams.
I think that's pretty safe. Or you could just go with the pie chart that I saw this week, where 1% was the Bengals win, 1% was the Rams win, and the other 98% was everybody's just happy to not see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Isabel Dixon converting her spares. She only has one open through 5 frames. Lots of spares, no X's on the board yet. Lita Sherman puts up a 9 count. 4-pin this time. Her last 9 count was a 10-pin. She rode that rail down the last half of the lane.
Voorhees with a spare in the 4th, while his opponent Keller struck, so that match pretty even still. Trevor Courtney starts frame 5 with an open as he misses a 7-pin, 85 in the 5th. Chance for his opponent to gain a couple pins. Tomlinson goes a little bit light, push right through the break point, 2-4-5-8. Tricky bucket spare. On lane 5, Andrew Arnold's shot is a typical sign of today's pattern. He missed inside, the ball barely hit the 2-pin, and he left the 1-5-10, a very tough spare to convert. Tomlinson chops the bucket, 77 in the 5th for him, so an 8-pin lead at the moment for 7 seed Trevor Courtney.
No.
And 2 gutter balls.
Yes, we got to fix that. So Matt will take care of that.
Yes. Good shot, Tommy.
Tommy Burns with a double. So Tommy, I was saying to the crowd out there that I find it very interesting. The line that you're playing now is a line you typically see later in a block. What's obviously the line is working, but what made you even think about playing that line?
Well, last week I pulled the US Open.
Okay.
And for the PTQ, I should say, I was playing this exact line. There's a little hole for your ball to hold, and there's a little hook for your ball to hold. So all the scare thing going down right now, it's creating a little hole for me. So I missed that. It just.
So Tommy Burns comparing this pattern to the U.S. Open qualifying.
Yep.
Got ya.
I'm playing the exact same line I did there.
Got ya.
Rolling it, same line.
So apparently Tommy prepared for this tournament by bowling the U.S. Open qualifying tournament last week.
So Shell goes open or miss 6, so he has 75 in the 5th. His opponent, Tom Burns Jr., has the lead with 60 in a double. Now Derek Keller got a double by striking in the 5th, putting pressure on his opponent now to strike here in the 5th.
All right, Tafiq leaves a 3-9. They're up into the 6th frame now. He's down presently 22 to Lita. Let's see if he could make the spare.
Probably. No, I didn't have Davis canceled. That's in the tournament yesterday.
Micah crosses over. Common thread we saw today. If you miss in, the ball usually did not stay right on the head pin. It usually crossed over, so big strike there for him. Trevor Courtney comes back with a strike. 18-pin lead now for him. Viewers out there, tell your friends to tune in as we are in game 1 of our 3-game final for today. Tomlinson crosses over, leaving the 6-pin.
Yes, they could have the U.S. Open on their TV and us on their computer.
This is correct. Or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Shell gets a strike. Tomlinson picks up his spare.
Andy England, root for the Bengals. As Isabella tries to pick up the 7-10. Summoning.
Field goal is good.
Yes. Tried to summon her inner Anthony Nair.
May I just mention while you mentioned that how about him being on Jeopardy the other day?
Yes.
The clue.
Well, okay.
The
There was a
ginger
clue about
assass-
him. Yes, there was a
clue
clue about
him on Jeopardy.
Yes.
Being the ginger assassin.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
And the person got it right.
How about that?
Yes.
So a big shot there for Tom Burns Jr. He has 3 in a row.
So, when you started the PJBT 23 years ago, was it your hopes to one day have a bowler be a question or an answer on Jeopardy? I'm sure that was in your mind somewhere. Yeah, it had to be.
I'm sure it was on the long list of accomplishments we wanted to reach. But I'm glad we did.
Yes.
That was pretty neat.
We're very proud of our bowlers. They've achieved a lot of great things happen in their bowling career once they were done with us.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Nyer's just starting.
Very true. 6 count for Michael Voorhees, 2-4-8-10. So this is a chance for his opponent Derek to start to pull away. He can put up 3 in a row here. Pretty good shot, but he crossed over. So as we get ready to start frame number 7, Trevor has a small lead on Nick. Jordan trails Tom Burns Jr., who has a triple going. And Derek Keller leads his match over Michael Voorhees with a 3 in a row at the moment.
You're absolutely right.
All right, let's see if
Wow!
good
Great
try.
try by Micah. Great effort as the 2, the 4, and the 8. The 2 went straight in front of the 10 and around the 10, but did not hit the 10.
It was a nice job.
Good shot for Trevor Courtney there.
Nice job, shot.
7 pin.
It was,
Handicap bowlers halfway through frame number 7.
all right, I'll take your word for it. I just knew I thought
So we also probably had a first last week in PJBT Tour history.
How late it got over?
Well,
I don't remember that record, but it probably had to be close.
we probably for the first time ever had a viewer watch our live stream on their refrigerator.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Yes, that's something you don't hear a lot. Yes, I watched you
Yep.
on our refrigerator.
Yep. And rumor has it she's under the age of 1.
Yes. And was probably given tips on, the right release to get the proper, axis tilt for,
Never can start too early.
no. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so with the exception of Mason Matrazo, handicap side is through 7 frames.
Right, so Defeat got his first mark in the 7th, so he cuts into Lita's lead.
There's a good shot. Big double for Mason Matrazo. That puts him right back in his match. 10-pin lead right now for Trevor Courtney on the scratch side. Good shot by Tom Burns Jr.
Yes.
Avoids the 7-10 with the messenger, leaving the 7. Chance for Jordan to get back in, but that looks wide. 2-4-8. Just looks like he doesn't have room to the outside.
Yeah,
Which is-
and it's odd because he's normally not the type of bowler to miss like that.
Right.
He's speaking of records, right up there in the record books for 3-game series in the finals.
Good spare there for Tom Burns. Burns with his spare. Maintains a 44-pin lead. 44 pins it is through 7.
And Tafik,
Gets 1.
good effort.
Good shot.
But that gets him within 9 with 2 frames to go.
All your handicap matches are pretty close because Mason Matrazo working on a double.
Yes.
Keller 5 count. He converted this once on lane 3. He'll look to do it again.
Isabella, 7 pin. 9 and a little bit of a wiggle. That double would have been big. If she spares here, she'll be down by 7 with 2 frames to go.
Or he's with a key strike. Try to get himself back in the match. He still has time.
And Isabella converts. Gives a little bit of a fist pump.
And actually with her handicap, that gives her a 16-pin lead with 2 frames to go.
Yes, I didn't even look at her handicap. Thank you for correcting me.
Keller almost converted it twice.
Almost.
Great shot there. So 131 in the 7th for him. Petrazo puts up a triple. So he is coming on strong late here.
There's no clear path. The legal is there's nothing. They don't unless they love this sport. There's nowhere for them to go.
Robinson leaves a 4-pin.
All right, Tafik up foundation frame 9th. He gets a 9 count. Leaves just a 4-pin. That's makeable.
Courtney drop kicks the 6-pin for a strike in the 8th.
And I'm not going to go to
11-pin lead at the moment for make that a little more than 11. As Nick not able to convert the 4-pin. 123 in the 8th. He can max out at 183.
And Tafik converts. So let's see what Lita could do if she could match. All right.
Pretty good ball.
7 count. 6 count.
Strike for Jordan Shell. I don't think he thought it was a strike.
But that's only because
See what his opponent Tom Burns Jr. does here in the 8th. Messenger comes around but does not take it. 10-pin.
That's a good shot there by Lita. She's going to convert, and she does. That keeps her lead at 9 going into the 10th. Isabella trying to pick up the 127, and she does.
Barely, but great shot.
Yes.
Just in the nick of time.
but then
Andrew Arnold misses right. 1, 2, 4.
it was like King Rob, and that was like the only.
Did I bump it?
That's a good shot by Alex. 9 and a little bit of a wiggle. 7-pin only. Andrew Arnold spares, so he's down by 16 going into the 10th. Mason strikes here. That's going to go. That's pretty much going to end that match if he could strike, especially with Alex just missing his spare.
Yeah, I mean, Alex can max out at 160.
Yeah, so
And Matrazo will be on pace for 160 with one more strike.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, I mean, right.
Good shot. Oh, good shot. 10 pin.
I mean, that's
So he'll look to convert a spare.
that's not.
Back on the scratch side, Voorhees with a 3-pin. Keller goes wide, 1-2-4. Keller looks to make his spare and maintain the lead.
a little more difficult for Lita this time. 1, 2, 5, 7.
Well, that's they're doing it because.
All right, Matrazo doesn't make it, but he's got 147. So Stakowicz is going to need to double in the 10th
To have a chance.
to force double in 7 to force Matrazo to show up.
Correct.
All right, Lita does not get any, so that's going to give her 108. So Tafik is going to need to mark.
108. Let's see what Tafik.
Like, I'm okay.
That ball gonna walk into the pocket? Yes, it is. Oh, 10
Great
pin.
shot.
That's his best shot of the match, but now he's got to make the
Gotta
spare.
make the spare. Foundation 9th frame strike for Nick Tomlinson. Still clinching. Still clinging to an opportunity. He can strike out 9th and 10th. Courtney, 6 pin. So that will lower Courtney into the 190s. So that match still up for grabs.
Is it
Tafik
gonna hold
for
or
his
is it gonna
spare.
turn?
Not
Just
able to
turn.
convert.
All right, 108, 105. Lita Sherman survives and advances. All right. Andrew Arnold makes his spare, so he could shoot 167. Isabella already at 155.
And so I figured that was going to be like 1 year thing and done, or 2 years.
Isabella crossing over, getting 8, and that will be enough. She will survive and advance.
I figured they were going to be like 1 or 2 years, kind of half-hearted do it. But it's really close, actually. They're having more of a, great this year, but national. They seem to be all in there.
So the 2 seed advances.
3 seed does not.
So Isabella is the 6, will be taking on our tournament leader.
Yes, that will be correct.
A reminder, in game 2, we'll flip-flop. Handicap will move to 3 and 4. Scratch will move to 5 and 6.
8 count, so 158 for Isabella Dixon. With her handicap, that will give her a 171, I believe.
And then today is much more exciting, much more now they're doing it much more.
181 to 165 is our final score for the Dixon-Arnold match.
All right. Matrazo open in the 10th, so Stakowitz, if he can find a way to double, that's a good shot. And he gets the first.
Wow, great shot.
So it's interesting.
Okay, so Matrazo, 156.
Can Alex actually put up a second strike and then get 7 to win?
We start the 10th frame on the scratch side. Big shot there for Tomlinson. He's going to keep the pressure on Courtney.
And
Second shot,
not hit the head
no.
pin. So Mason Matrazo will be moving on. He will be taking on Lita Sherman.
So, 156, 155.
So with Trevor Courtney's 6 count here, Nick Tomlinson could sneak in here with another strike and 9. That's a little in. All right.
Okay, but now,
So Tomlinson's
Courtney
Trevor
still-
Courtney needs to make that spare.
yep, still needs to spare. 89.
So three close matches on the handicap side. Trevor does convert.
So Lita, Mason, Lita, Isabella, and Mason.
All right, Trevor Courtney will be moving on. He was the 7th seed. survive and advance. As you said earlier, grind out wins was the exact way to put it. All right, so Tommy Burns needs to make this spare to shut out Jordan. Unless if Jordan doesn't strike here, and he goes 10 back. Tommy does not convert. That ball just sailed on him. So 200. So Jordan needs to go strike 6. And he would move on with throwing 2 gutter balls.
Let go, we can't, they closed it too. No, you are like 15 minutes.
Last strike here for Shell.
Oh, talk about a break.
Keller with a strike. He can max out at 189. He's still got a shot in his match. Eight count.
203, 200.
203 to 200. Shell.
So Jordan Shell, high jersey carries.
There's a popular lead.
Yeah.
How about the 1-4-10?
Sure.
Okay. However, if he gets 2 pins, he forces Micah to get a mark in the 10th. He needs 2 pins.
Actually,
No,
he would
it
force
forces
him to strike.
in the 10th. Sorry. You are correct. Strike in the 10th.
Here, like, I got a screen protector and
And he does.
That will put Micah. So I just want to point out our 2, 3, and 4 are all going to get knocked out here. Upset Sunday. 178 for Derek.
And I may be losing all of our hot spots. Maybe not. Are you guys staying or are you guys leaving? You guys staying or leaving? What?
you don't have to wait home. Like,
Okay, so I'm actually the 3 people that had a hot spot, they all lost.
Oh,
So I'm losing my hot spots.
I actually do.
Oh, yeah.
He shoots 750 something.
Yep.
And so I'm like,
How long are you staying?
As long as I need to, why?
As long as you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask again. How long will you stay?
Okay.
He's averaging 57.
Do you have a hotspot on your phone?
I do.
So, but I'm like,
Good. Can I use it?
Yes.
Everybody else that told me I had a hotspot, their
I have one.
person lost. All three of them, I'm losing all my hotspots.
so just keep it going.
How charged is your
Okay,
phone?
196 to 177. Voorhees over Keller. We'll have the awards in just a moment.
All right, after we give out the awards, I have to change hotspots, so the stream is going to go down for about 20 seconds or so. Just so you all know, don't get too nervous when you see the stream stop.
No, how charged is your phone? I'm at 70. Got it. I do.
This is not something
Here.
I don't like it in first place. Like,
You can have my phone.
he says he doesn't. And he probably is 50 with it. But I just want to say, more people need to. They get the momentum, they're nice and relaxed, and they're just coming off the three. And now you gotta come in basically cold. You've been keeping
So after we give out the awards, we'll change hotspots since I'm sure you're not going to be sticking around.
If the others don't work, I'll
Oh no, this one will work.
You got a far drive. I don't want you.
I was trying to see what you needed.
Final matches for this afternoon's PJBT, finishing
Yeah.
in 7th in the scratch
I
division.
want to test to
Getting a
make sure I have enough upload
$75
speed on yours to do
scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Derek Keller.
Derek Keller, officially in 7th place today.
Our 6th place finisher receiving a $75 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Tom Burns Jr.
Tommy Burns Jr., officially 6th place today. A little unlucky there in the 10th.
Our 5th place finisher in the scratch division getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Nick Tomlinson.
Nick Tomlinson, officially 5th place today.
I got a bowl on
Okay, over the handicap division, our 7th place finisher receiving a $50 scholarship. Certificate and medal goes to Tafiq Smith.
Tafiq Smith, officially in 7th place today in the handicap division.
Officially our 6th place finisher in handicap, $50 scholarship and medal goes to Alex Stakowitz.
Alex Stakowitz, 5th place today, handicap division.
And officially our 5th place finisher in the handicap division getting a $50 scholarship and certificate and medal goes to Andrew Arnold.
Andrew Arnold, 5th place.
Okay, on to our semifinal matches.
All right.
Each division will now be on 5 and 6. Handicap 1, 3, and 4.
All right, so we're gonna go down for a few seconds. I gotta change hotspots, so stick with me. Don't get nervous. Ariel's. Oh, geez, I wonder.
You want to be between the Alex
Mason, yeah. He had one, I think, yeah.
Come on. Come on. Ew.
Try my phone.
Ew.
Can we try my
Well,
phone?
hold on. This is download. Let me see what upload speed is. Oh yeah, that's never gonna work.
Here, let me see. Arrow, give me my phone.
No, that's from the hand. Yeah, but this is not right.
Man, it's up at the moment. That's weird. I mean, it shouldn't be working if I only get upload speeds like that. No, let me try a different place for upload speed. What service provider do you guys have?
We have T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
Exactly. That's exactly right. We were, it was right by.
No. Of course, T-Mobile wouldn't just have an easy site. Which one do I normally go to?
Make it, why would you,
Semifinalist bowlers, you may begin your practice, please. 3 bowls in each lane.
All right, well now show me the upload test. I don't want just a download test. I want an upload test.
like, I don't know what,
I don't care about download. I care about upload.
He's trying to eat something. The battery needs to be higher. I have a fast
I am going to want to plug the phone in because that will definitely help.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go get a quarter. That's what he does.
Yeah, I mean the speed that I'm getting, it shouldn't be working. But I mean it says it's running. Like you don't see it lagging here.
Yeah. You wanna try this? Yeah, we have T-Mobile. And AT&T.
Yeah, we could try it. I'll find out if I ever want to pirate somebody's internet. Depends where I got to put the table. That's like right on the border of being good enough.
Now, if I turn on Do Not Disturb, that'll still allow you to do that, and then it'll keep people from messaging me and screw you up, right?
I have no idea. What percentage are you at?
63. You can plug it in if you want.
Okay, so what kind of phone do you have?
iPhone.
So I'm going to need your charger because this is the Burns' charger.
Do you need a
Thank you very much.
No, it's in the car. Give me 2 seconds to grab it from the car.
Take your time. I'm here all day. What are you eating there? Chips. Whose big bag of candy is that?
Danielle, you want some? She'll let you have some.
Well, it depends what's in there.
Are you back on?
Yes.
Okay.
We got M&M's, we got Snickers. Here, take 2, they're small.
I'm boycotting Kit Kat right now because of what they did this week.
Do you want Snickers?
No, I'm not a huge. No, I'm boycotting all Hershey's products because of what they did.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're firing their employees.
I know.
So I'm boycotting them. You know, because I probably keep them. I probably pay somebody's salary a year in Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sales.
What about Milky Way?
No, we're good. This is fine. All right, we should be on a hotspot now that has a pretty good connection. So thank you for being patient with us. Tried a couple different ones out. So our upcoming schedule. So as I mentioned earlier, next week is the finale of our girls only series for the year for season number 23 at Lion Bowl in Red Lion, PA. 10:30 start time. $500 first place guaranteed. $500 first place guaranteed. Limited space. They only have 12 lanes, so we should technically be full at 48. So definitely want to put your deposit down early. $20 deposit reserves your spot at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. That's www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. The week after that, we go to my favorite little bowling center, East Lincoln Lanes, between Lancaster and York, for a regular season event with a 10:30 start time. And then the week after, I believe we are at Palmyra. Palmyra.
I started the expert from Candy.
Okay, well, then it's time to begin our semifinal matches for tonight's PJBT. On the stretch side to your right, we have top seed Mason Dome taking on number 7 seed Trevor Courtney. In the other match, we have number 5 seed Micah Voorhees taking on number 6 seed Jordan Shell. The two winners of these semifinal matches will bowl each other for the title. On the handicap side, to your left, we have top seed Ian Powers taking on number 6 seed Isabella Dixon. The difference in a handicap is 16 going to Isabella. And in our other match, we have number 2 seed Lena Sherman taking on number 4 seed Mason Matrazo. The difference in handicap is Lena gets 68. All right, bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our semifinalists for tonight's PJBT.
All right, so on the scratch side, we got 1 verse 7 and 5 verse 6. On the handicap side, we got 1 verse 6 and 2 verses 4. Trevor starting out with a strike. Mason Dome with a strike. Isabella with a strike. Ian with a 7 count. So Isabella getting 16. Lita getting 68. You'd still be bowling if you looked strike. Matrazo crossing over, leaves the 1-3. Should be makeable. Jordan Shell with a strike. Jordan with a new lease on life. He may bowl really, really loose now.
Well, yeah, and you know, I want to mention, too, in that match, he overcame 2 gutter balls
Yep.
in that match to en route to victory.
We've seen that on the Pro Tour. Marshall Holman double guttering and winning the match. All right, strikes aplenty to start the scratch match. Until I speak.
I'm a stress eater. Would you like some more?
Matt, would you like some chocolate?
No, I'm
Any
good.
stress relief?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just yell at me.
All right, Trevor Courtney made his spare. Michael Voorhees opening up with a double. Let's see if Jordan could open up with a double.
That's the only thing.
4-pin. Matrazo comes in light. Lita Sherman going Jersey and gets a 9 count, leaving just the 6-pin. Jordan misses his spare. Trevor Courtney with a split. Lita will miss that spare. Looked like it held on to her thumb a little bit long there. Two pin for Mason Doan. Isabella carrying the 6-10. Nice little break. Ian starting off a little slow with 3 straight opens. Time to regroup. Trevor Courtney open in the 3rd. Jordan Shell gets another lucky strike. He had the 3-6 standing, and then he didn't.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Matrazo with a strike. Lita, that's going to hit the head pin.
Oh, 4-10.
Michael Voorhees saws out the 5.
Okay, I think I'm organized. Back on board here. Okay, 3 frames into the semifinal match. Mason Doan with a 2-pin, but he still has an early lead in the match. Michael Voorhees starting with a triple on the scratch side. Handicap side.
Oh!
Lita almost converts the 410.
I thought she made it.
I thought she did too. 33. I'm sorry, 27 for her in the third. Ian picks up his spare, first mark of the match. Isabella looks double. That ball looks wide, really wide.
Yeah, they don't hook back from there.
In the gutter. But the good news is she's on a strike, so she can convert the spare. No harm, no foul. Shell comes up high, 3-6-10 on the scratch side. Better shot that time for Dixon, but she gets a 6 count. So she'll post 48 in the fourth, 64 with her handicap. So she's got an early lead in her match.
4 pin for Michael Voorhees.
Good shot there for Lita. 8 count. Shell converts his spare. Mason Matrazo missed his mark inside, ball hooked even more to show how the pattern works today. So 6 count for him. Voorhees misses his 4 pin. 87 in the fourth for him. Still has the lead in the match, but might have opened the door a little bit. Lita gets a 9 count again. That's 9 counts, 4 frames in a row for her. Matrazo picks up his spare. Nice shot. Courtney goes a little bit light, comes up leaving the 3 pin after his opponent, Mason Doan, tournament leader, strikes. So about a 30 pin lead for Mason Doan halfway through the match.
Yeah.
There's a strike for Ian, his first strike of the semifinal match.
That's going Jersey.
8 count for Isabella. Trevor picks up the spare. So Trevor trails by 32 halfway through the title semifinal match.
Michael Voorhees gets the 4 out this time. Didn't get it last time, got it this time.
Dixon got the ball out a little too far. Got 1, 57 in the fifth for her. Here comes Lita. Opposite of the 310, goes the other way, 2-7. Jordan Shell with a strike. So Jordan matches Micah's strike. So it's a 21 pin lead. No, 19 pin lead. I was going to say 19
Yes.
first, then I went 21. 19 pin lead for Micah Voorhees. Here comes Matrazo. He missed in on his target. 7 count.
Mason Doan, 10 pin. Had the messenger come across, missed it. Had a backup messenger stop before it got there. That's a miss for Trevor.
That's not what he was looking for.
No. So he's probably going to fall further behind.
Doan picks up the spare. And another spare for Mason Matrazo. So Mason digging into that lead.
That would be my son.
9 count for Ian Powers, 5 pin. His opponent, Isabella, does hit the head.
And we get in trouble.
Yeah. This is correct.
We don't quite have the pull that they do.
No.
Good evening, League Board.
You want to get him break the bank?
Sounds like a plan.
Store Matchmaker is coming back to Dutch Lanes on February 12th. Just a reminder, if you use any of the chairs for the old arcade, if you can please put those back when you...
Now not.
Oh, I put it on silent?
I shouldn't have done anything.
310.
Whatever happened, it started to lag.
Take your, pull that down again. Take that Wi-Fi, that's your cellular data? No, that's Wi-Fi.
Mason Doan, 133
Whatever that did, it started
in
to
the
make it
seventh.
lag.
And Mason picks up his spare.
Now, it's not too bad.
8 count for
Whenever
Isabella.
you see that, that means it's lagging. Now, just because it's lagging on mine doesn't mean it's lagging on everybody.
3 in a row there from Michael Voorhees. So Voorhees has a decent lead in his match. Mason still maintaining a lead in his match. Dixon gets 1, so 84 for her, 100 with her handicap in the 7th. Powers picks up his spare, so that match is pretty even. Matrazo stands up here in the 7th. He's digging into Sherman's lead. Courtney comes up high, 247. So he can max out now only at 190.
I mean, you're holding at 5 now, which should be, that should be plenty.
9 count for Mason Doan. Lita with a 7 count.
So I don't know why it's laggy. Anything above 5 should be fine.
Courtney gets 2. So that's going to make it very hard for him to make a comeback in this match. Doan picks up his spare, so Doan can spare out for 190. Trevor Courtney can only shoot 181. And Lita picks up her first spare of the match. Converts her spare. Next up, Ian Powers. Good shot. His second strike of the match. Shell crosses over.
It
6
could
pin.
just be on mine that it's lagging. Doesn't necessarily have to
Big
be
shot
on
here
anybody
for
else's. Do me a
Micah.
favor. Pull it up on your phone and see if it's lagging.
Strikes, it makes it 4 in a row. And Dixon with a strike. Lita gets 8, leaving the 7-10. So she'll look to get 1.
Jason is legging out here too. It's buffling bad. Yeah, binding's really shaky.
And they just have to reset it when this game's over. Oh,
No, it bounced out.
yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it.
No, the ball bounced out of the gutter.
All right, 2 for Matrazo. So Lita is up by 16 after 8.
Foundation ninth frame begins
for the moment, it's
for
stopped.
both sides. Powers crosses over, 2 pin. Also a 2 pin for Jordan Shell. 3-6-10 for Isabella.
All right, so it looks like Mason Doan will be moving on to the finals. He just needs a pin to shut out Trevor. And it looks like Micah Voorhees will be moving on to the finals. In fact, he's already shut out Jordan. So we have our finals on the scratch side. Number 1 versus Micah is the 5? 4. 5. Right to whoever that was.
Trazo with a strike. Big shot there for him
Yes.
in the foundation ninth.
He said better, yes.
Lita gonna hit the head pin. She gets 8.
That was on the second ball, so she's at 154 in the Ian Powers with a big strike.
Yeah, once he got on track after those first 3 frames, the route was on.
Well, Isabella can only shoot 138 with her handicap. That would put her at 154. So Ian just needs 4 pins. If this
Yep.
shot stays on the lane,
That
Powers
match
is a
over.
winner.
So both 1 seeds are moving on.
Eric, did you hear me? Write it down and get ready to hunt out. Okay.
So now are you gonna be leaving? I'm not gonna lose my hot spot.
Hunt Bella.
I guess the hot spot is the kiss of death. Like everybody will offer me their hot spot. Yeah, it usually is. It usually is. Micah Voorhees is going to put up an impressive game in the 250s.
Trazo with another strike. Big strike to start the 10th.
Yep.
So he should be in the 160s now, which forces Lita to get a mark.
And she
gets
does.
it.
Matrazo does not strike, so now the most he could shoot is 167 or 177. So Matrazo needs to pick up a pin here. And he barely picked up a pin.
Mark, I have a lane for you. Joe and Mark.
It's okay. It's okay.
175, 167. Matrazo with that double moves on. So Lita needed that second strike there in the 10th. All right, so we'll give out some awards for our semifinalists, then we'll switch lanes again for our finals. Scratch will move back to the left. Handicap will move to the right. You son of a... It's got a signal now.
You might as well connect to it now.
Yeah. So they must have been having an outage or something.
Okay, semifinal matches for today's PJBT. Finishing in fourth in the scratch division, receiving a $100 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Trevor Courtney. And officially our third place finisher in the scratch division, receiving a $100 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Jordan Shell.
Trevor Courtney, Jordan Shell, your semifinalists.
Our fourth place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Isabella Dixon.
Isabella Dixon, fourth place finisher.
And our third place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Lena Sherman.
Lita Sherman, officially third place.
All right, on to our title match for today's tournament.
Safe travels. See you, man.
It's funny to see. Jenna Hedgeback, man. Jenna Hedgeback is like, I'm like, oh yeah, she's like, I'm in Maryland. It's okay. Dude, you gotta calm down. That's what they got her for Christmas. They got
All right, so it looks like Ian will be getting 6 pins in the handicap finals. 6 pins of handicap.
Thank you, you too. I don't know why I said that, but I just feel like I have to say it. I mean, we're not there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We're not on.
Good luck, I know.
Good luck to your kid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's really.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to impart some reason. The problem with they had, I mean, was down between Carly or Laurel, Stratmere.
For today's PJBT, on the switch side, we have top seed Mason Doe taking on number 5 seed, I believe it was, Micah Voorhees. Mason has elected to have Micah start the match on lane 3. On the handicap side, we have top seed Ian Powers taking on number 4 seed Mason Matrazo. The difference in handicap is just 6 pins to Ian, and he will start the match on lane 5. All right, bowling fans, we started with 88 bowlers today. We are down to our final 4. Let's give them a nice hand as they roll off for the title.
All right, away we go to the finals.
So that's not so bad. Yeah. But and mine is actually probably 50-50. But like generally, like they were saying the statistics were, if you have the buy, you have the buy, you're not going to win. Like it's generally like people just don't win, right? And I don't, and I always think because okay. Now he's not coming up fresh. This isn't really a rocket in the middle. But yeah, like they're not gonna, like you look at the points. I mean,
All right, Ian Powers starting us off. Gets the 5 out. Micah, 10 pin.
Yep. Yeah, I guess I should stay on Facebook. I don't want anyone to US Open, right?
Or so long,
yeah, but
he's watching it down there.
Micah with the spare. Mason Doan comes in high. Mason Matrazo does not convert his 6-10. He takes the 10, leaves the 6.
Brenda and Zach, we have a lane available for you.
Matrazo up, frame 2, 10-pin, much better shot. Mason Doan made his spare in the first. He's up now in the second, lane 3. That's a strike. Matrazo does not make his 10-pin, so he starts out open. Voorhees coming in light, leaves the 2-pin. Ian Powers opens up with a double.
Big start to the title match.
Yes. No better way.
Well, it's good to see. I mean, Tommy Grace had matches, so it's out there. What's his name, Andrew?
Good spare there for Voorhees. Once again, this is our title match for today's PJBT, 7th major of the season. Scratch match on your left, handicap on the right. Powers goes a little wide with his target on that one. 136. Picks up his spare. Voorhees crosses over with a jersey stripe.
So they obviously then, Matt, did have an outage, but it's not a cell tower outage. It's the other thing that my buys connect to. That I read when I was reading it. I read that they're different. So
It's back on now.
yeah, but I'm still connected to the hotspot. Since it's up and working, I don't want to chance anything.
7 count for Mason Doan. On the handicap side, Mason Matrazo gets his first strike of the match.
Brenda and Zach, we have a lane available for you. Brenda and Zach, we have a lane available for you.
Doan picks up the spare. Matrazo looking for a key double here after 2 opens to start the match. Oh, he pulled it. Well, he got an 8 count. It's not a horrible shot. He's got 2 pins right in the middle. He can hopefully use to spare it up.
It's like literally, we can't get to this much.
Doan comes in high. Leaves a tricky one, the 3, 9, 10. The key is the back pin on this one. Matrazo gets the 5 pin and not the head pin. Interesting. 46 in the 4th for him. Doan not able to convert, so he has 66 in the 4th.
But they're doing a bunch of articles on YouTube and stuff. Like big articles, like we're gonna have.
Great shot there for Ian.
Taking control of the match.
Ian started off the day with probably one of the highest games I've seen with 242 in qualifying. 242 scratch game.
That was probably the highest in handicap. Of the finalists in scratch, Derek Keller had a 244 in game 1.
Wow, another strike there. 4 out of 5 for Ian, so he is off to a great start in the title match.
Mason's got to start filling some frames, or this could be a runaway very, very quickly.
Yes, actually, both Masons in the finals. Voorhees put on the double. Now he's looking for 3.
Ellie Kate,
Fast 8.
Gets a fast 8.
Ellie Kate,
Makeable spare.
Florida.
Trazo was
super nice.
looking for the crossover. Got the 6-10.
You know, so there'll be a couple people we know they use one.
See if he can pick up his spare.
Oh yeah, we have the range in actually. That's in this area, yeah. So,
So if I have the question during that tournament, I can just come by you, right?
oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, Billy looked at me and Billy's like, I'm putting it
Trazo picks up his spare.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Voorhees also
And
converts his
it's
spare.
scratch, it's sport shot, right? So, but so don't let her get frustrated, right? But just tell her like it's awesome, right? So, she'll have a great time.
Key shot here for Mason Matrazo, lane 5. Pretty good off his hand. Comes in a little bit high. 4, 6, 7. He's gonna have to try for 2. Doan with a strike. That'll help him get back in the match. Trails at the moment by 21.
Oh,
Trazo
good
gets
effort.
2. Good effort. 72 in the 6th for him.
Mason Doan, 5-count split. And on a double, Ian Powers gets a 1.
That's not what he meant to do.
No. Mason Doan gets 3, so he's got 92 in the 6th. Still strike out for 212. And Ian Powers off of a double goes 1 spare. Yeah. So we saw Jordan Shell go gutter spare on a double. Now we see Ian Powers go 1 spare on a double. And we see Micah Voorhees put 10 back.
Yeah, so the kids great. I don't know. Oh, actually, that's pretty good.
7 pin for Ian.
Yeah, I mean,
which he flags. So he's got 136 in the 7th. So Matrazo has to get moving right here. He's down by
64.
with handicap. He's down by 70. But Ian's bowled 1 more frame. So Mason's got to start moving right here. Matrazo. And he's crossing over and he gets a strike.
Hey, that might be the break he needs to
He
get
could
it
be.
going.
Could be.
Meanwhile, Micah Voorhees with an off-the-edge 10 pin here. Almost knocked it off the edge. I believe he got it.
I would say so.
Barely, but he got it.
Well, it was off the edge.
It was.
but yeah, I mean,
Mason Doan, back-to-back 5 counts. Mason Matrazo, 7 count. Doan converts. Keeps himself in the match.
He trails by 35. He's got to start striking here late in the game to give himself a chance. Trazo 1-2-8. He picks up his spare. So after a couple of early opens, he's refocused.
So he can still strike out for 172. So Ian puts up a double here. Actually, even if he just puts up two marks here.
Marks out for
basically
190,
over.
he'll have the victory. Yep. He's been pretty dialed in, so let's see what happens. Missed on that one, tucked that one in. 8 count. Doan picks up his spare, so now Doan can only max out at 181. So again, same thing. Michael Voorhees.
2 marks and it's basically over.
2 marks. Powers only gets 1. Got it wide off his hand, and again that ball didn't recover. So 145 in the 8th. Let's see what Voorhees does here. Big shot in the 8th. Little light, but he gets a good break, leaving only the 5-pin.
That ball went right through his break point.
Yep, and he got a lucky tap from the 4-pin, kicking it into the 2, so he ended up with only 9. 7 count for Powers. So as easy as it sounds to put marks up in every frame, these patterns do not allow it to be easy. So Powers converts his spare.
Not sure he thought he made that off of his hand. Either that or he was off balance. So that puts himself in a winning position.
Or he's almost missed the 5-pin, but he gets the spare. 34-pin lead as he heads to the foundation. 35-pin lead, heading to the foundation 9th. You would have been buying me a soda if you missed that one.
Plus.
Oh, great shot there. That's the shot Mason needed to get back in the match. Just didn't happen.
And that's basically going to end it. If he spares and strikes out, Ian will just need 1 pin. Micah, basically with a good count mark, will end it as well. And
Voorhees goes light.
He's a washout.
Washout. 1, 2, 4, 10. Trazo picks up his spare.
All right, Voorhees does not convert. So now he's got 171. So if Mason Doan could find a way to strike out, he would force Micah to double the win.
Or strike spare, we have a tie.
Then we have a tie. All right, now the handicap match is done. Doan strikes.
Strike, don't need it in the 9th.
Ian, you could go. Ian, you could go.
Trazo will finish in the 140s.
All right, big shot here for Mason Doan. And
Loss is over. 6-10. Nine count, 147 for Mason Matrazo. And Ian Powers going to be your champion in the handicap division.
Mike, as soon as he throws, you could go. So 3 and 4 proved to be a pretty tough pair compared to 5 and 6.
I would agree. Ian Powers taking home the victory in handicap. He will shoot 1 93 scratch. 199 with his handicap. He wins 199 to 147. And Michael Voorhees takes home the title in scratch.
Somebody else has it. There's a lot of times where it's like, oh, that's not enough.
All right, one last shot for Micah. He shoots 191, 191, 168. So, Matthew, I'm going to summon your best friend. Why don't you go crown some champions?
Okay, sounds good. I will do that.
Summoning your inner Chad Murphy.
I will do that. Give me 1 second. I will be right with you.
And then we'll set up for some final interviews. And then Matt will be back and we'll wrap it up.
1 second. I'll be right with our winners. Picture lady. You want to be my picture lady?
Sure, if you like the third weekend in a row.
Well, you take such good pictures.
I know, tell me about it.
All right, down to Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our seventh major of the PJBT season. Time to get out our final awards. Finishing runner-up in the scratch division, getting a $150 scholarship certificate and award goes to Mason Doe.
Mason Doe, runner-up, scratch division.
Our runner-up finisher in the handicap division, getting a $150 scholarship certificate and award goes to Mason Matrazo.
Mason Matrazo, runner-up, handicap division.
Okay, and now it is time to crown our champions in the scratch division, receiving a $300 scholarship certificate and a first-place class bowling pin for a major title goes to Micah Voorhees.
Micah Voorhees, your scratch champion today. I believe he was the 5 seed coming into the final.
And a dominant performance
handicap division from the 1 seed.
All right, we'll get a picture with our winners, and then we'll send them back for final interviews. Don't forget the PJBT next Sunday will be at Red Lion Bowl for our finale, $500 first place girls only event. And then 2 weeks from today, February the 20th, we'll pick up again with our singles event at East Lincoln Lanes in York, PA. Don't forget to tune in. We're on YouTube, the PJBT Bowling Series page on YouTube. Thank you.
All right, let me set up for some interviews.
Am I live?
What's my interview? What's my interview? Hey, the voice of the PJBT, they all want to hear.
We got some significant interviews. We did Brianna Cote and Carolyn Nora Valley last, and that was great. Brianna was great. But it took me 3 weeks to get the audio fixed.
All right.
Hey, I try to keep.
All right, so we're here with our handicap division champion today, Mr. Ian Powers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pretty dominant from the number 1 seed today.
Yeah. I think I got a little lucky, but I felt like I was throwing the ball pretty good,
Okay.
pretty consistent. So
Okay. So, PJBT pattern number 8, difficult pattern.
it was really hard.
How'd you
Yeah.
play it?
I ended up standing like 13, and I was throwing 7 or 8, and even then, sometimes it was flying, sometimes it wasn't. It was really, today was a spare game.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
the tournament, people, if you got chairs out, we would appreciate it if you put them back. Thank you.
Did you get a chair out? If you got a chair, I got to put it back.
I did not.
So where do you typically bowl out of?
Downingtown, Pennsylvania. I bowl
Down.
out of the Bowling Palace.
Okay. All right. And PJBT title number
1.
1. Oh,
This is only my 3rd event, I think.
okay.
So,
You know, we have a lot of bowlers in the handicap division win their first couple of events. It's amazing how often that happens. So, how you gonna celebrate?
hoping dinner.
Oh, of course. Of course. Where's Dad?
Right there.
Dad, where's dinner?
Dad, what do you want to do for dinner?
Where's dinner? We gotta celebrate. Where's dinner? We gotta celebrate. Truck stop chicken fingers. Nothing wrong with
It's
that.
a great place up by Shady Maple.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
That might be
I was
pretty
I was
tough.
supposed to start bowling 13 minutes ago.
Yeah, that might be pretty tough to get to. That's gonna be pretty tough. So, who do you want to thank?
I want to thank my dad for coaching me all these years
Okay.
and really sticking with me. I want to thank my brother because he never made it to match play and I did, and I won. So, and him cheering me on, my mom for cheering me on, and
How old are you?
14,
And you've been bowling for how long?
11 years.
11 years? Oh, you started really young. Really young. So now that you won, you've automatically qualified for our season-ending tournament down at Limerick. Much shorter ride for you. Much shorter ride.
Bowl there on Saturday mornings.
Do you? What do you average down there?
It's a sports shot league, so like 150, 160.
Oh, okay. Well, those kind of leagues is what prepares you for this today, because this was hard.
So my dad was always saying
This
was,
hard. That's right.
it's better to throw in a sports shot because
Absolutely.
then you can kind of get practice for
Absolutely,
these kind of
trust me.
patterns.
You know, I've been doing this long enough, and I coached my son, you know, when he was coming up. When you could get to averaging 200 on sports shots, all of a sudden your league shots, you have like this much area.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it is. Plus, what grade are you in?
9th, freshman.
9. Do they have, does your school have high school bowling?
No.
No. So, did you sign up for the independent qualifier this year?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, you would have, because you would have already known about it. So, it already happened. So, next year, you have to pay attention. If they don't have school bowling, you can sign up for the individual qualifier and make it potentially to regionals and then make it to states. And typically, the PJBT bowlers are the ones that end up making it to states. Because we have the best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking home his first title ever in the handicap division, Mr. Ian Powers.
Thank you.
You have a good superhero name, by the way. Ian Powers. I like that superhero name. All right, we'll let Ian leave and we'll bring in Micah Voorhees. I always say his name wrong. I say Voorhees. It's wrong. I already know that.
Voorhees.
Yeah, I know, but it's not spelled that way. So, I really think you like bowling in Pennsylvania.
And I was gonna say, Dad came over to me after this, and just as a joke, he was like, "We need to start doing more of these." I
Yes.
was like, "Yeah."
Yes. It seems that more times than not, when you come to Pennsylvania, you're sitting here or standing here with me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, so about how long of a drive was this for you from New Jersey?
About an hour and a half.
That's so you live not far over the border from what, Allentown or?
Philadelphia.
Okay,
And
okay,
yeah,
so you're down that way.
It's about like 40 minutes to Allentown, so.
Okay. So yeah, you know, those are not long trips. You know, my trip for our tournament last week out in Carlisle was an hour and a half. And I'm like, to get to my house from here, we're like 30 to 35 minutes. So, you know, if you could do an hour and a half here, well, I could do an hour and a half from Carlisle. So, PJBT pattern number 8, pretty difficult.
Yeah. Oh
Pretty
yeah.
difficult. One of our more difficult patterns of this season. Looks pretty screwy because I still got the scoreboards up. So let's fix that. So, in qualifying, did you throw a urethane or was that a switch that you made?
So, we'll start off by saying in practice, I did not look very good. Was dumping it in the gutter a lot.
Okay.
About 8 times to be exact. So I kind of made the switch to reactive just so I could get left and not have to worry about dumping in the gutter. Hit the right side of the head pin twice in a game in 3 frames and bowled 180 and then had 200 pacing. And then I picked up urethane, moved my eyes forward, and then just moved my target a little bit to the right. And then that's why I finished out with 2-0, and then I bowled 2-0, then I had 220, 220, and then I hit 1 and 2.
Well, yeah.
1 and 2, 1 hooked about 15 boards more than
Yes.
2 did.
Yeah.
And I also failed to catch a couple needed breaks, like a 7-10 and a 4-9 in there, and bowled 140. So
Make a mental note that if you ever bowl it, now we bowl here twice a year. They're both majors. That if you bowl here, 1 and 2 is always that way.
Yeah.
They never wet the wick here. You know, they never double oil one. You know, that's just how it is here.
yeah,
So make a mental note
yeah, definitely.
for that. So now, if you had come to talk to me before we started today, and you told me you were going to wind up throwing urethane, I would have looked at you funny. I would have never thought that urethane would have worked. Would have never thought that urethane would have never worked on this pattern. But now that I've seen it, I could understand why it does work. I mean, there's not a high volume in the middle of the lane. There isn't. There's less than 9 units. Why?
Is it okay if we start putting people on here?
Yeah. So, actually, it makes more sense. Obviously, you know more than I do. You know, I've only been coaching 30 years, but you know more than I. You haven't. You know, I've been coaching twice as long as you've been alive, and you know you already know more than I do. But that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I have a couple of people and to thank. First, I
Okay,
want to thank.
so
Okay.
who would you like to thank?
Okay.
Because that was going to be my next question.
Storm Products recently contract signee, so did it with the fast pitch basically the whole day. So that's the ball. Go
So-
get one.
So did I hear right? You're under contract with Storm. Did I just hear that? Congratulations.
Storm Evolution team
Congratulations.
with Keegan Alexander and some other good
From
friends
Texas.
of mine.
Yes.
How did I know that? I'm not going to tell you how I knew that.
Second, Big Jim's Pro Shop for drilling all my stuff, and the bigs and lots of
Where's
support.
Big Jim's Pro Shop?
Brooklawn, New Jersey, and Westbrook Lanes. Go check him out. He's awesome.
Go see Big Jim.
Yep. And obviously, Dad for taking me out here and watching me and helping me out today. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it's either you bowl good in Pennsylvania or you just bowl good when I live stream. It could be that too.
Could be that too.
Could be that too.
Because best tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't here. This year it's going to be in Pennsylvania. It's going to be in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's the big announcement that's coming. About best next. That's the big announcement. So I'm spilling the beans a little bit early because, you know, not a lot of people watch the interviews. So if you're watching the interviews, you kind of know what the announcement is. Yeah, it's we're with Chuck not involved in it anymore. We've now fully taken it over.
Right.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll let you guys get back to New Jersey because you got school tomorrow.
Yes, I do. Great.
Better you than me.
Yeah.
I gotta work though, you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking hope the $300 first place prize. PJBT title number, is this like 3 on the season or 2? 3 on the season?
I think
2 on the
it's
season, or
2 on the season of actual PJBTs, and then I guess best doesn't.
no, and that's last season anyway.
Yeah, that was last season. So that's number 2 on the season.
Micah Vor, yes.
We have a lane
I'll
available
always
for
get
you.
that wrong. Sorry. All right, congratulations. We
Thank
will
you.
see you the next time you come to Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Nice bowler. Congratulations. Okay.
Do you already have the pins in your vehicle?
No, I didn't even
Okay.
get down there yet.
Okay.
But
Well, they're out of there.
we want to 3 things that are important. Number 1, girls, don't forget, next Sunday, finale event, $500 guarantee first place at Red Lion Bowl. Make sure you sign up in advance for that. Limited space available. 2 weeks from today, number 2, is our next PJBT event on the 20th of February at East Lincoln Lanes, singles event. And most importantly, number 3, watch our Facebook page this week. We have a big announcement, and it'll probably be coming up this weekend. So make sure you tune in. We're very excited about our big announcement this coming weekend. So stay tuned.
Are you and Nicole having another child?
Absolutely not. That subject came up earlier today. Absolutely not.
So that's
It's
not the big
bowling
announcement.
related.
Oh, it's
Has to
bowling
be
related.
bowling
Oh,
related.
It's bowling related. Okay.
That's the only way it's on the PJBT.
So why
page.
don't you tell them what the PJBT website is in case they don't follow it?
Well, the website is pjbtbowlingseries.com.
And the Facebook
And for
page?
Facebook, it is PJBT Youth Information Page.
Are we going to post it on Facebook too?
We are.
All right.
So
It's going to be all over the place.
it is.
All right, for all of us here at the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour, I'm going to try to live stream the finals next week. Never been to that bowling center, so we'll have to play it by ear whether I get a signal or not.
True.
But if not, we'll definitely be back in 2 weeks at my favorite little bowling center.
Sounds good.
All right, we will see you guys either next week or in 2 weeks. Wave goodbye to the fine people.
See ya.
See ya.